Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about what I've been doing besides drafting a story. I am revising another read through of Project Whisky. And you guys, like, this story, it continues to make me chuckle and laugh, and like some of the one-liners, I'm like, oh my gosh, who wrote that? Oh, that's right, I did. But it's the characters talking, not me, because sometimes I'm just not that funny. And I have also come to this realization, like, Cam Nano is going great for me, but I've come to this realization that the story I'm currently drafting is going to end up in, like, the burial vault of my ideas, because I have a tendency to go too many directions at once and not stay focused on what I should be focused on. And by should, like, I'm the one telling me I should or shouldn't be focused on something. I'm not letting other people dictate to me what I should do, but I am listening to good advice from people who've been there, done that, and understand the literary world better than I do at this point. So I'm taking what they say and I'm rolling it around in my head and going, do I agree, not agree, agree, not agree? But I will say that you know, I have a very fertile mind that likes to give me lots of book ideas. And even though I have a bunch of random ideas, like for middle grade and fantasy and futuristic, sci-fi type, westerns, you know, that kind of thing, with fair consistency, I've been getting a lot of good ideas in two genres, and that is contemporary romance and my historical fiction. So anything that's outside of those two, I'm probably just gonna put in the little dumping ground file that I have, and they'll just sit there, just so they're not bouncing around in my brain trying to distract me from what I want to do. Gosh, I say too much and it drives me crazy. Anyway, I realize that like, I think I could come up with really good story ideas, and so I could probably write them, but I want to be known, like, when people see my books, they're like, oh, well, that's Peggy's contemporary book line, or that's Peggy's historical fiction books, you know, like, I want to be known for writing specific things, and if I'm all over the place, that ain't gonna happen. And I don't want to have pen names unless it's absolutely necessary, which if I ever write anything outside those two, it will probably be middle grade books, only because my kids have been asking me to write them books so that I can read them to them. But whether I'll publish those books for, like, the wider audience, I don't know. I don't know. That's way down the line. So anyway, I am on to revisions. That's my little update on my epiphany, I guess. But I've been doing revisions on Project Whisky, and or not revisions, another read through. This is the final, not the final one. I'm looking to see where I can expand, because right now it sits about 55,000 words, and I don't have an end goal in mind for how many words I want it to be, but I'm looking for places where it would make sense if there's a time jump. Like, okay, what happened in that time? Is it something that readers are going to want to know? Is it something that's relevant to the current story that I have? If so, then I'll add a scene in. Now, not every time jump will actually have something relevant that needs to have a scene, but I do need to know what happens in it. So sometimes I'll just make a note saying what exactly happens here for my knowledge only, because maybe there might be a little sentence or a piece of dialogue that needs to be referenced back to what happened, just so that readers have enough of a clue without me having to spell it out. Now, I have also been reading voraciously. Like, I've been reading Nevernight by Jay Kristoff, and like I'm in love with his writing. Like this book, the formatting alone is like that was the first thing that I saw when I opened it. The formatting was just awesome. Like he's got footnotes in this and everything. It's great. So like one of my author friends recommended Nevernight and God's Grave, the second one, plus I know Jay's writing the third one. So I started reading it. She said she thinks that anybody who writes as an author should read one of his books just for educational purposes. So I was like, okay, I'll take you up on that and we'll see. And his prose are just, there are so many sentences in his work that I'm like, that would be a great tattoo, or that would be a great saying to put up on a wall, or, you know, just things along that line. It's a lot darker than what I'm used to reading, I'll tell you that. But at the same time, it's not. Like, it's, I read vampire books, so to be honest, like, and I love Anne Rice type dark and Bram Stoker. So this is along that line of darkness, okay? And follows an assassin. So, and I also have this from the library. Another one that's been recommended for her style of writing and world building. So I'm reading that as education, which is funny because neither one of those are my genres. So, but I'm looking at it as the artistic standpoint, like the way that they string their prose together and everything like that, because I do love that beautiful poetic type writing, and I know that it can be used, if you know how to use it, it can be wielded like a really well-honed machine. So that's kind of where I want to go. And I still have a few of my craft books that I have to finish reading, and I did a read-through on Project Ice, and there's quite a bit of things that are going to be added to this, because there was an aspect of Nick, the male protagonist, his life wasn't even like shown, and it plays a huge part in who he became. Can't say too much more because it'll be a spoiler, but that needs to be shown, so that will add a lot to it. And I was surprisingly pleased with the read-through, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I'm getting better at this, you know. And then I am going to be picking back up my Tudor fiction. I am not going to be adding fantasy to it. I've made that decision, not fantasy. So in preparation for picking it up, I have given myself a year to do a lot of research and open up my possibilities for the entire Tudor era. Like current, the story as is during Henry VIII's time. But I'm going to open it up to the entire Tudor era, because there's a lot of stuff that happens, and in my precursory research, there are a lot of interesting players who are not known as the key players, even though they may only be like one step removed from the key players, still involved with all the crap that went down in that time. And let me tell you, there was a lot of crap that went down in that time. No wonder it's one of the most prolific time frames for authors to choose from. And so I'm doing research right now, mainly because I want to be able to write all of the Riordan children's stories, because there's going to be a little subplot that runs through all of them, which I need to make sure makes sense throughout all of them because it builds up. And it'll be easier if I just have it all written, and then I can edit, make sure that things reflect and it flows and everything. And so, and I really want to do the stories well, so it's kind of like, I really wanted to publish a book this year. Whether that will happen, only time will tell. But anyway, this is a very long and rambly video, and it's already like almost 10 minutes long. But I just wanted to give you an update on where I was with Project Whisky, some of the other story things, because I just have so many in my brain, and quite frankly it gets overwhelming. And I'm getting better at being able to say no to stories because I can just dump the idea in my document and go. And so I'm just going to keep exercising that, and any shiny new idea that comes along, be like, oh, you're shiny, yes, let's put you away for now. Maybe. You're a maybe. You're a no. You're a maybe, you know? And just keep improving and keep walking along and encouraging others to do the same, because sooner or later my books will be out and I will hit the ground running. I already feel like I have kind of hit the ground running. But anyway, that is definitely it for today. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you're doing great with camp. Camp is awesome. My cabin is like, I love my cabin. I love my cabin so much. Oh, announcement. Okay, so April 20th on my channel, I will be doing a live stream or two. Be checking my social medias for the times, because the 20th is a Saturday. I'm going to do kind of like a 12-hour write-a-thon for myself, and there are those in my cabin who are interested, and then there are some in another cabin that are interested, and so be prepared. Come prepared. If you want to join us, please do so. I don't think there's going to be any special group made for it, so just keep your eyes out on my channel on the 20th, and check my social medias for the time. I will be doing at least one live, maybe two, I don't know, we'll see. But anyhow, let me know how you're doing with Camp Nano down below. Also, what do you do to keep yourself focused on one project at a time? How do you determine if a project is for you or not to write? And is it kind of like a, well, maybe I'll write it, or that's a no, cool idea, but nope. Just let me know down below and click a thumbs up if you liked this video, and I will catch you guys next week with another video. Bye. Sorry, Mandy, but I am part of the AuthorTube write-in, and I am going to try and tackle the last 12 pages of my read-through, and I'm so not looking forward to it. So I'm in the with Natalia, Brooke, and Mandy's write-in, and everybody's vlogging that they're a part of it, and I was like, oh, I should vlog because I want to be part of the party. I have 11 pages, and I could be using this vlog to avoid it. I have researched hiking during this write-in. I have watched and sung along with Frozen, which my kids are still watching right now, during this write-in, and I have not done anything productive. Maybe I should just hand in my writer's card for today. But I've been procrastinating, finishing the last 11 pages of this read-through. It's 11 pages for somebody who reads